So recently I fell into really, really deep depression and I got myself out of it in record time, for me anyway. It's not the first time. I know it a bit too well, but in a matter of days, I went so low that it was hard to move. It was hard to get up. It was hard to talk to anyone. Life was hard. And I got there in an unexpected way. Like, basically it was a song. I listened to this, by the way, beautiful song that was talking about belonging and going home where you belong. And this triggered one of my old limiting belief, but one that has been inserted very, very deeply inside my soul from a very young age. My parents had the best of intentions, but from a very young age, I've been told that I don't really belong in the place where I was born. And because of this has become one of my programs that's running subconsciously, that I don't belong. And how it translated throughout my life is that anywhere I went, I just kind of felt a bit off, like I did not belong there. And this has been something that I've been working on in my personal development work for years and years. And now I know that belonging is not something that is gifted to you. Belonging is something that you have, that you develop for yourself. It's a feeling. It's a certain level of confidence as well. But belonging is like a little suitcase that you bring with yourself into every single room that you walk into. No one's going to welcome you and give you a bag of confidence. You need to bring it with yourself to every single room that you enter. But when I was younger, I did not know this, and I really, really struggled because I went into places and I felt like I did not belong and nobody made me belong, and I just felt like an alien for the vast majority of my life. And later on, through personal development and through very, very welcoming, lovely, lovely communities, I found the sense of belonging. I found how the feeling feels like, because I actually entered an environment where someone told me, you belong here. You do belong here. And they helped me to feel that feeling that I never felt before. And then when, again, also through personal development, one of my mentors told me, you need to bring your belonging with yourself because no one's going to give it to you. I knew the sense already. And now I am able to pick up my little suitcase of belonging and bring it with me to every room that I go to. Sometimes I forget though. Sometimes I do forget and I fall back into the pattern. But this song that I was listening to, gosh, it made me feel so worthless, still not belonging, because it was a beautiful song. And all I could think about is that I have no home where I belong. I belong nowhere and everywhere. And it made me so sad. And there was another thing going on in my life at the same time, where an authority way more powerful than me, something that I cannot control, nobody can, was not allowing me to do something I wanted to do. And this triggered a level of sadness, and it felt like an open wound. It triggered such strong pain inside me that I couldn't deal with it. I have all the tools that I have. I'm a coach. I'm in personal development. I've done tons of work. In my head, I knew what I needed to do. I couldn't do it. The pain was so strong that it pushed me into deep depression, where I put up my bubble. I rejected everyone. I distanced myself from my family. I distanced myself from all the people who are around me, who I love. I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. I could play the song in my head again and again and again, because obviously that's what you do to make yourself feel even more miserable. And I was just crying. I was just sitting and crying, and that's all I could do. It was incredibly hard, because in the meantime, I have this awareness that you're depressed, you know the steps, you know what you need to do, and I couldn't do it. It was stronger than me. the negative spiral that I talked about before, it completely swallowed me. All I could do is think thoughts that made me even more miserable. And after a few days, I started noticing moments when I had a little smile, mostly with my children, or I had a little laugh on something with my children, because they are just pure little beings. They can, if you have children around you when you're depressed, they can pull you out, because their factory setting is joy, and they have this like honest joy, an honest laugh. They can pull you out with their pure little souls of joy. They pulled me out for like seconds or moments, and I started noticing those, and I said, right, so in this moment I have the power. My power is starting to come back. I have the power to think another thought. So I tried to shut down the music in my head. I tried to think better thoughts. I tried to do little things to feel a little bit better. And then after 4 or 5 days, I noticed that my coaching call was coming up with my own coach. And I really wanted to cancel. I really, really, really wanted to cancel, because I said, I'm so low, I'm so miserable, there's no way I can work on anything, because with my coach I like to work on fancy things like manifesting the next best thing, and I really do everything to avoid the work as well, myself. It's not just other people, it's me as well. And I really wanted to cancel, but coaching is right if it's at the price point where you can airport easily afford it, so it's not a problem, it's not causing you stress, but it would be very painful to cancel. That is a perfect price point for everyone, and that's different for everyone, but that's if you find a coach at that price point that is not causing you stress, but you don't want to cancel because it's a bit painful, that's perfect. And I did not cancel. I showed up, I told her what's going on, and obviously there was shadow work to be done. There are blind spots that I don't see. I was too much in my own misery to be able to coach myself through this. And she highlighted that basically one of my childhood traumas has been triggered. I was a teen, but still, like, one of my early traumas has been triggered that I've not been working with. There was a time when I was grounded and it felt so unfair to me. I was relatively old, I was like 16 or so, and it felt so unreasonable, so very, very unfair that I was grounded. And what was worse about it than being grounded, I felt like the love and the respect and the connection was ripped out and taken away from me because what I have done, that I didn't feel like it was quite that bad, that I deserved this kind of treatment. But that's how I felt. That was my perspective on it. And I don't know the adult's perspective, and it doesn't matter, but this was a little trauma in my life. And I remember the feeling. The feeling was exactly the same that I was feeling right now. The pain was too big, I couldn't handle it. I couldn't speak, I couldn't move. I couldn't really do anything to make myself feel better. I just wanted the whole thing to go away, and I wanted to make it unhappened. And I couldn't. And I felt hopeless, powerless. I felt like a nothing. Someone who can't do anything, who's not allowed to do anything, who does not belong anywhere, who's not loved by anyone. And all of those feelings came rushing back into my body, and it was so hard. But what I'm grateful for is that my coach highlighted that this is not really mine at the moment. This was mine a very long time ago, and it came up to be healed. So when I had this awareness that this is the previous version of myself, this is a younger version of myself who appeared to be healed, it gave me the perspective and the awareness so that I can heal myself. And then I went on and I've done my 8-step process that I'm giving you in the caption below. I went through the process. It took me like half a day, lots and lots and lots of pages of journaling, but I've gone through witnessing my emotions, release, forgiveness. I've done a bit of tapping as well. I have then chose different thoughts that I want to think, sort of like lessons, like, you know, I'm a different person, this is a different situation, I'm a grown up, that cannot happen to me, like all the kind of like reasoning, you know, with these emotions. And when I got to the end of the whole process, the whole 8 steps, I felt this incredible release. And I know it worked because now I can talk, I'm on camera again, I can move, and I feel sparks of inspiration. I've had 2 ideas And when I'm depressed, I never have any ideas. All I can think of is how bad everything is, how disastrous my life is, how miserable I am, all the bad things, and I don't see a way out. That's the thing about depression. You don't see the way out. It's so hard. And when you start to see the way out, it just means that you're coming out of it. Like gratitude. If you feel gratitude, that can pull you out. It can take you away. If you feel excited or creative, that's a way out. Grab that moment, grab that smile, grab that idea, and take yourself out of it. Because these are little portals, little doors that open up for you to let you out of that horrible state that depression is. So that's how I know that it worked, because I have ideas, I'm creative again, I'm talking, and I can do all of these things. So today, I really hope that this process helps you. If you're very, very low and you don't see the way out, please grab one of those moments when you forget about it, because it happens with all of us. Just grab it and hold on to it for as long as you can. In one of those moments, if you remember to grab my 8-step process, grab it and write out all your fears. Go through the process, release, 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 forgive, 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 and then reflect. And you can always see your path, and you can always connect the dots backwards of why it happened, how it happened, why you felt the way you felt. And when you do that, when you're not just trying to push it away and, bottle it up, then you can process it and you can heal from it. And when you heal from it, it's not coming back. Depression may come back for a different reason, from another source, from another thought, but not the same thing. It will be something else that comes up for you to heal it. And once you do this a few times, at some point it has to be over. I mean, at some point we have to just heal all of those childhood things that we are trying to go through, and life starts to be better and easier, and it will feel good again. But watch out for those little doors and windows on which you can climb out, and you can help yourself. It's not your fault that you feel this way, but it is your responsibility to spot the doors and the windows so you can get out of this misery. It is your responsibility to get yourself out of it. Get your power back, because you have control. You have control over your thoughts. You can choose better thinking thoughts at any point in time. You can grab those moments when you forget that you're depressed and you suddenly feel happy for a moment. You can get hold of it. You have the power to do this. You do. I do. And you do. We all do. We just forget. Grab those moments and climb out of your misery. It is your responsibility to make yourself believe that you are a powerful person. You can get your power back. Me suggesting that you need someone to get you out of depression would be so disempowering. Yes, if you can hire a coach and you can do some shadow work and you can rely on them on the days when you don't see the way out, they can do the same thing that my coach did for me, like flip that perspective quickly, move your awareness into the direction where it needs to be. Sure, that helps. But if you can't do that because of your circumstances, use my process and grab those moments. Use them as windows and doors. And always, always, always work on your belief system so that you believe that you can control your own life, because you can. You can control your own thoughts because you can. Therefore, you can control your own emotions and feelings because you can. I can, you can, we can. All of us. Much, much love to you. I hope this was useful, especially if you're feeling very low. Let me know in the comments. Have a wonderful day when many opportunities show themselves to you to feel better, and many good feeling thoughts appear inside your head. Thank you.